You buy flowers on Valentine's Day because everyone does? You pick up generic chocolates from the drugstore because it's expected? You send Amazon gift cards because you don't know what else to get. You believe these gestures show thoughtfulness, that random acts of generosity build relationships, that being generous equals being attractive. But here's the brutal truth nobody tells you. Every time you give without strategy, every moment you waste resources on meaningless gestures, every instance you remain generically generous is destroying your influence. You're becoming predictable, forgettable, and ultimately weaker in a world where gifts are weapons of power. And random generosity is the fastest path to relationship failure. Today, we're going to explore Robert Greene's uncompromising principle of strategic gift giving, why premeditated generosity creates obligation, and how to transform from someone who gives randomly into someone who gives with masterful precision. The modern world has conditioned us to believe that any gift equals love, that generosity equals character, that random giving equals desirability. But this is a trap. In power dynamics, the person who gives randomly becomes depleted. The person who gives strategically becomes powerful. And giving without purpose is weakness disguised as virtue. Consider this scenario. Person A gives flowers on Valentine's Day because it's expected, sends generic gifts during holidays, and believes that consistent generosity will win affection. Person B studies what the other lacks, gives exactly what's needed at the perfect moment, and creates unbreakable obligation. Who do you think becomes irresistible? Who commands loyalty? Who has more relational power? The person who gives randomly or the person who gives strategically? Giacomo Casanova understood this dynamic when he carried that red dress. He wasn't generous by accident, he was generous by design. In our consumption-driven age, this principle becomes devastatingly effective because when everyone is desperately giving generic gifts, the person who gives strategically becomes magnetic. The fatal addiction of modern relationships is the belief in random generosity. You give because it's expected, buy what's trending, send what's convenient. You become predictable, replaceable, and ultimately unmemorable. As Machiavelli warned, it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. In gift giving, this means it's better to create obligation than mere affection. Random gifts create temporary warmth. Strategic gifts create lasting debt. Think about the typical dating scenario. You send flowers because it's romantic, buy chocolates because it's sweet, give jewelry because it's expensive. You believe this shows investment. But you're missing the fundamental truth. People don't fall in love with generic gestures. They fall in love with what addresses their specific lacks, their unspoken desires. Greene's strategic gift-giving was his masterpiece. He didn't give randomly. He studied people intently, identified what was missing, and gave exactly what would create maximum obligation. If someone lacked status, he gave social connections. If they craved knowledge, he gave rare books. If they sought adventure, he gave experiences. The first principle, diagnostic generosity. Don't assume what they need. Study them intently. Casanova spent weeks observing women before giving them anything, noting their complaints, their aspirations, their subtle lacks. In modern terms, don't just buy what's popular. Study their posts, their conversations, their frustrations. What do they complain about? What do they scroll past? What makes them light up? This isn't creepy surveillance, it's strategic intelligence. The second principle, calculated scarcity. Greene taught that gifts given too frequently lose their power. Space them out, make them rare, make them meaningful. In today's world, don't give every holiday. Don't send random deliveries. Save your generosity for moments when it will create maximum impact. As Machiavelli taught, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. In gift giving, this means everyone sees your random generosity. No one experiences your strategic precision. The third principle, obligation engineering. The gift isn't about the item, it's about creating debt. Greene understood that receiving a perfectly chosen gift creates psychological obligation. You feel you owe something back. In modern relationships, if you give exactly what they need when they need it most, they become invested in you. If you solve their problems before they ask, they become dependent on you. The fourth principle, power positioning. Greene positioned gifts as investments, not expenses. Each gift was a calculated move in a larger strategy. With the ambitious, he gave opportunities. With the lonely, he gave attention. With the insecure, he gave validation. This requires seeing gifts as weapons, not gestures. Consider two people in a relationship. Person A gives random gifts, flowers on anniversaries, chocolates on dates, generic cards on holidays. Person B studies what their partner truly lacks. Perhaps they feel undervalued at work. Person B gives exactly what addresses this: connections to influential people, opportunities for advancement. Who creates deeper loyalty? Who becomes indispensable? Person A creates temporary happiness. Person B creates unbreakable obligation. Person A becomes just another generous partner. Person B becomes the person they can't lose. Strategic gift giving extends beyond romance. In business, the person who gives random perks becomes forgettable. The person who gives exactly what the team needs when they need it becomes the leader they follow. In friendships, random generosity creates casual connections. Strategic giving creates allies for life. The ultimate goal isn't giving gifts, it's creating obligation that serves your interests. Strategic generosity transforms you from depleted giver into powerful investor. Results come when you stop giving randomly and start giving surgically. When you study people instead of guessing. When you create obligation with masterful precision. Greene didn't teach random generosity. He taught premeditated power. He understood people become loyal to those who give them what they truly need. In our entitled age, this is devastatingly effective. Machiavelli understood this when he wrote, "Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved." In gift giving, this means it's safer to create obligation than mere affection. Affection fades, obligation endures. The pragmatic mandate? Become the strategic giver who creates unbreakable bonds. Not through waste, but through precision. Not through generosity, but through obligation engineering. The wise man, as Machiavelli said, does at once what the fool does finally. Don't waste resources learning through failure. Master strategic gift giving now. Because in a world of random givers, the strategic becomes irresistible, and you can choose to be that giver or remain just another depleted, generous soul. The choice is yours.